Okay, Justin, a 4-2 win. A sigh of relief, I think, in the changing rooms after that win.
Yeah, I think so. After what's happened the last couple of weeks, we were just keen to get back into winning ways, and I just sort of spoke to him there. I don't think I don't think 4-2 reflects the game really. I think maybe we were sloppy at times, but not often. If you go on the whole 90-minute performance, I think we were exceptional. I think we looked to get in behind. We wanted the ball, and we had a really good judgment, I felt, in terms of when to play the ball, when to play in behind, and obviously you don't get everything right throughout the game, but we created so many chances. I mean, it could have been a similar scoreline to last year when we won 6-1. I think that would have probably been a more fair reflection on it. So I wasn't too fussed genuinely about the result today. I just wanted to get back into winning ways and looking like ourselves after the last few weeks, and we got that, so it's really pleasing.
Bristol Telephones did seem to have improved a lot since last season. It was a little bit, they definitely gave us a game, especially in the first half. Did they pose any challenges to you, especially compared to when we played them last season?
Yeah, they were definitely a better side, and they had a few of the same players who we knew, and a couple of weak areas, but they have got a couple of new players in there. Their big striker was obviously causing us problems, but once we sort of sussed out what he was doing, he was backing in, and he was giving Ali and Zach a few problems. But then in the second half, I thought, well, even at the end of the first, I think Ali and Zach got used to him, and then he was a bit ineffective in the second half. But I think they did pose a bigger threat. But like I said, I think we were on top for pretty much the whole game. They had moments here and there where they created the odd thing, but I think overall it was quite a convincing win, really.
We gifted them 2 goals, quite sloppy goals. Is that something that you and the lads are worried about? Because that's ignoring the Radstock game. I mean, last week it was down to personal error on a couple of goals. Is that something you and the lads are worried about?
Yeah, it's more. I wouldn't say worried. I'm just frustrated and it's just annoying because you can see 2 goals in a game like this. You shouldn't be. You should be keeping clean sheets. And I think I've been saying that, in terms of major big errors last year, you could probably count on one hand how many of them that happened, and we've probably done more this season already. So it's definitely something we've got to address, and I think we can't give 2 sloppy goals to Oldland next week because we probably won't get the win. So as long as we play like we did offensively today, and in large parts defensively, I thought we were very solid. I thought guards in front was very solid. I thought the back 4 were good. So I don't think it's too much to worry about, but it does need definitely sort of smarten up, ready for and then once we get that sorted, I think we'll go into games knowing that a goal or 2 can win us a game like last year, and that's what we want really. So we do want to get rid of it, but at the moment it just seems like it's silly errors, but the lads are all aware of it and we're aware of it and we're trying to address it, but sometimes it happens, and we're just going through a spell where that's sort of happening every week, so we definitely want to stop it soon. Yeah.
You said you were making a couple of changes from last week in reflection to maybe some of the attitudes of some of the players. A couple of new players featured today. Have they got their spots now? Is what we saw today your go-to 11 every week now?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, we've got such a big squad that I'm not one for just chopping and changing for the sake of it. Sometimes at the moment I'm in the sort of mix of half I'm changing it because we want to rotate slightly because we've just got so many good players that I want to keep them happy, and that's genuine. I mean, if you look at our 5 on the bench today, they would start. If you just put them in the start for 5 others, it wouldn't make us any weaker. So there is a little bit of just trying to keep people happy because they deserve to be, because they're good players, but also because people aren't quite putting it in previous weeks. So it's a little bit of a juggling act with how we do that. But after a performance today, yeah, we'll be hoping to keep a very similar side because when we perform offensively so well like that, we want to keep it. But Wickens isn't here next week, so there'll be a spot there, and a few people come off the bench to sort of stake a claim for that, and there's people who aren't even here today who might do as well. So yeah, we won't be changing it too much because I'm a bit aware that we have changed it quite a lot the last few weeks because of the defeats. I felt they were necessary at the time. I don't think I'm just going to play people when they play poorly, but we want to try and keep a sort of similar team, and that's what we did last year when we went on a good run. We had a very similar sort of 14 every week, so I'm keen to get that back, but there are a lot of people vying for those spots and it's up to them to keep the shirt, and today they sort of shown that, I think.
I don't think there was a bad performance out there today. I thought everybody did a great job, but was there anyone in particular that stood out for you today?
Yeah, I think it's tough when you play that well to then start picking people out because it's like you're not picking the other people. But for me, I thought Brad at left back for his first game just was like he played there for ages. He was superb. Lewis is exactly the type of player, that's what we want him to be, just coming in short, getting in behind. Brighty and Rogers with his goals, but for me, Guards was just, for 90 minutes, didn't put a foot wrong, I don't think. He just did everything we wanted in there. He was protecting the back 4, using the ball well to get forward, and I just think all of those others I mentioned did very, very well in spells of the game, but I just think Guards for an overall night performance pipped it, and he was superb today, so yeah.
And next week we've got Oldland Abertonians. The last time we went to their place, we lost, if I believe. It wasn't a great day out. What's the plan going into that game then? Because it's obvious that they can pose a serious threat, and obviously one good performance today could go right back the other way next Saturday. So what are the conversations going on in the changing room at the moment going into that game next Saturday?
Well, it's strange because when we don't want to dwell on the 2 defeats that happened, but because of the nature of the defeats and how poor they were, they need to be sort of addressed and be sort of dwelled on in the sense of we don't want it to happen again. So while I don't want to bang on about it and sort of keep going on like we're being negative, we have to keep reminding the players, because if you do switch off, you can lose like that. So we're very, very keen to bring it up and mention that we don't want it to happen again, and that winning 3, 4, 5 hopefully games, or just going on a good run of playing well. I don't mind if we drop points every now and then but as long as we're putting performances in, that'll soon be forgotten. So one win today doesn't change what happened the last 2 weeks. It still happened. If in 8, 7 weeks, whatever, we've got a lot of few more points, the points we want, then it won't seem as bad. So it's really important to sort of build on this today, and it'll be a tough game. But I genuinely believe if we play like we did today, we can beat anyone. So I expect us to start like we did today and go and win next week if we can do it. Yeah.